Virtually all fires begin at a single point of ignition, small, almost harmless at first. But undetected and uncontrolled, fires can quickly build, spread, and damage or destroy everything in their path. Microenvironments are often small, inaccessible, or difficult to effectively enclose. In rooms equipped with fire suppression systems, heat and smoke sensors may be located far away from these potential points of ignition. Sometimes the fire must grow into a truly destructive force before being detected. For these microenvironments, detecting and suppressing fires used to be impossible. The need for control panels, expensive smoke detectors, large cylinders and valves along with electrical connections simply made the job physically impossible to fit or far too cost-prohibitive. Now, fire detection and suppression comes in a tube. This deceptively simple device incorporates fire detection and suppression into a single tube. No electrical wires, no control panels, no large piping. It's also easy to install, highly affordable, and extremely accurate and efficient. Here's how it works. firetrace tubing is made of a space-age polymer designed to burst at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Configured as a flexible, linear pneumatic heat sensor, which can also carry and dispense the fire extinguishing agent, firetrace can be placed virtually anywhere. As a direct low-pressure system, firetrace tubing is both a detection and suppressant delivery system. When heat of 212 degrees or greater is detected, the pressure in the firetrace tube increases, the tubing softens, then bursts, instantly forming a dispensing nozzle, and releases the agent in the cylinder to extinguish the fire at the point of ignition in seconds. In this test, notice the firetrace response time after the introduction of a heat source. When it comes to fire suppression, time literally is money. A quick response time can minimize downtime and damage, protect the surrounding environment, and save the cost of recharging large code-mandated fire suppression systems. As an indirect low-pressure system, firetrace tubing is used only as a detection device. Easy-to-install copper tubing delivers a suppression agent. Once the tube bursts, the agent is discharged through strategically placed nozzles. Firetrace is compatible with a number of suppressing agents: HFC 227EA, ABC and BC powders, CO2, water, foam, or whatever the application requires. Even though firetrace is a non-electrical pneumatic system, it can incorporate a pressure switch allowing firetrace to interface with a building alarm system, deactivate electrical power, or close off a fuel supply. Let's look again at the advantages of firetrace. Firetrace can be installed virtually anywhere. Firetrace requires no electrical power. Firetrace is automatic and does not require monitoring or manual activation. However, an indirect system can be fitted with an optional manual release if required. Firetrace can dispense the best suppressant for any application. Firetrace performs under adverse conditions. It is unaffected by changes in humidity, the stress of vibration, common chemicals, solvents, or UV radiation. Firetrace is not only affordable, it could save you the replacement cost of valuable property and prevent the need to recharge whole room fire protection systems. Most important of all, firetrace stops fire at the point of ignition. It is site-specific and automatically engages at the hottest point of a developing fire. By extinguishing fire at its source, larger, more destructive fires can be avoided. The firetrace advantage can be a benefit anywhere fire is a possibility. Firetrace is your first line of defense. In microenvironments, it detects and extinguishes fire at the earliest possible moment. Firetrace helps to preserve files, equipment, property, business routine, and the costly employment of your master fire protection system. Code-mandated, full flood systems enhanced by the supplemental protection of firetrace gives you true, state-of-the-art fire protection. Affordable firetrace works for everyone. Firetrace, fire detection and suppression in a tube. Stop fire at its source, automatically, within seconds. Firetrace. Sometimes a first line of defense is all it takes.